Happy Sunday, everybody. Happy Sunday. Come on in. We are back. Whew. My light. Just a second, y'all. Welcome in. Come on in. Hit the like. Hit the like button. Hit the like. Go ahead and subscribe. Share out this live. We have a special guest that will be coming on. I'll be right back on. I'm trying to fix my light here, y'all. Sorry. Yes, and we cannot wait to hear from him. Hope you have some good questions, that you came with your questions. If you're here and I have not said hello. Hey, Alberta. Hey, Hika Joke Productions. I hope I said that right. Hello, Harlem. Hello, everybody in the chat. Thank y'all for being here. We're going to give our guests time to get here. In the meantime, again, thanks for being here and thanks for supporting the channel. It is free to hit that like button, and it only takes a half a second, if that, to hit the like. And so I appreciate you guys for doing that as well. All right, so I hope that's fixed. I don't know what's going on with my light. Not looking good today. I hope everyone had a good day so far. I have had a great day so far. So here I come. All right. So yeah, we have our special guest coming on. He is a film producer who has the #1 movie on All Black right now, Darwin. He'll get to talk a little bit about that, a little bit of behind the scenes in this industry, anything that he's experienced or know about. And this is just what he does, and he's been doing it for a long time. So he'll be on shortly. Hopefully, I came on a little early just to make sure I was on time and make sure he got the link. But before we get started, while we're waiting on him, let's talk about a couple of things. So if you guys know Jeffrey Epstein, right? It was around the R. Kelly time, when R. Kelly was going through what he was going through. He was actually accused and arrested and found guilty of some things. Well, he didn't even get to go to trial. Jeffrey Epstein, I'm sorry. He didn't even get to go to trial. Our guest is here. I'll let him in just a minute. And he had allegedly hung himself, or now they're saying, I don't know how he did that to himself. We think it's somebody else that did it. And now they're saying there's this video, this 10-minute video of Jeffrey Epstein that people watch, right? But 60 seconds of that 10-minute video is missing. And the question is, can another person, unalive somebody by hanging them, the only way I know to say it, in 60 seconds? I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. So we're going to dig into that and see what is going on. We know there's some confusion in the White House now about Epstein's list of people and possibility that Ghislaine Maxwell can be pardoned now because there's no list. Trump could have pardoned her his first stint, but he left it alone. All this stuff. So that's kind of a big story that we were following back then as well. We'll catch you guys up. But in the meantime, our guest is here. We're going to let our guest on so we can start the conversation. So let me let him in. Hey, Ali. You're on mute. There you go.
How you doing?
Good. First of all, let me just publicly apologize for the filter I used, y'all. Listen.
You all right.
Listen, y'all. So I was posting, promoting that Ali would be here, and I just clicked on this filter because it had the lights in the back. It made it look like Ali had on lipstick, and he immediately was like, hey, what you doing here? So we got it. So I apologize about that.
Nah, it's all right. It's all
Yeah.
right. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing, Ali? It's been a
I'm
minute.
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Good, good, good. So first of all, thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time out of your Sunday to be here. Actually, we
Thank you for
wanted,
having me.
yeah, we wanted you to come on. I know that for myself that you are a movie producer, but I want you to introduce yourself formally. Tell the people what you do, who you are, and all that good stuff. And we'll jump in.
Okay. Hello everybody. My name is Ali Abdin. I am the co-owner of 1500 Entertainment. I own it with my brother Aaron Abdin, and we are film writers, directors, and producers. We make narrative films. From the conception of the idea to the actual finished product. So we write it, we direct it, we produce it, and we get it out to the public. So that's what I do.
Yes. So you don't have to answer to nobody.
Well, I
But
mean, I wouldn't say it like that. There's always someone to answer to. And honestly and truthfully, it's always the story when it comes to writers and directors and producers. You answer to the story, meaning you have to tell the story as truthfully as possible. And everything that's done when it comes to producing a film, directing a film, writing a film is about telling the best story possible. So I don't like using the word boss, but
you are the boss. Come on, Ali.
my boss is always the story. I'll say
Your boss is the story, but
my
you the boss.
boss is the story. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. All right. So let's get to, I want you to brag on All Black, what you got going on with your latest movie and the movie prior to that. This is your time to shine.
Uh, well, I mean, I'm not a person who brags, but my brother and I, we actually have a film that's out on All Black right now called Darwin, starring Danielle LaRoche from Tyler Perry's Zatima and King Kuran, and several other people, Martin Batts and Lionel Johnson and Matt Kimbeck. I mean, we had a great, awesome cast, and it's been #1 on the All Black platform since March 20th when it was released. So I know they just recently released the film this Friday. So maybe once those numbers come back, we may be dethroned. But I know for a fact that we've been the #1 film on the network for the last 4 months. So
Congratulations on that. And
thank
prior to that, Staycation.
Prior to that, we released Staycation on their network in 2022, and it was #1 for 8 weeks running after it was released in February of 2022. So
Yeah.
we've had some pretty good success with All Black. All of our films have been scored by my brother and our dynamic music director, producer, and supervisor, Mr. Davion Botts. And we just had an awesome team with this last film, especially with Darwin, from our partnership with Swirl Films to our casting director, Miss Laquanda Plant, and it was just a great experience,
Yeah.
and it really moved us to the next level in our production. So, we're looking forward to doing more things.
That's amazing. We're always excited about, our Black brothers and sisters doing their thing, and so congratulations on all your success and
Thank
what you have, what's to come for you. So are you guys working on anything right now for the future?
We
Anything?
actually we're always working on things. I'm always writing, and we're always mentally preparing ourselves for the. I'm in post production right now on a film that I produced in March called Becky 2. I was one of the producers on the original film that received a great reception from the audiences that watched it. So and we're producing the H. Lee show. H. Lee, that's me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with H. Lee, and we have a lot of phenomenal
Get
guests.
out of here.
Danielle LaRoche is a guest on that one. Yeah, we had Ving Rhames was a guest on it. We also
Wow.
had Omar Gooding. Um, Charnel Brown, um,
Ali.
yeah, Unc, he came on too. The original comedy connoisseur.
Yes.
He graced the show with his presence. I mean, we had a lot of great people on there, especially that we have music comedians. I mean, it's a great show, and we're looking forward to getting that out to you all as well. So,
Well, that's again, kudos to you. Congratulations. We're excited for that. And we always support you over here.
well,
Um,
thank you. I appreciate it.
yeah, so you guys go to All Black, check out those movies, stream those movies, those films over there. Staycation, and the current one is Darwin at #1 since March. Am I right? Since March of 2025. So we're excited about that for you. So with that said, let's just jump right into the interview, because we've been following the P. Diddy story from a long time ago till present, till the time they ran into his home. We followed the entire trial from the beginning to the end. We're waiting on the sentencing. And the reason we wanted to bring you in is because now Tyler Perry, who is, in the film business, in the movie business, also, he has lawsuits. And we just feel like, that some of it feels like it's just this takedown of our powerful Black men in the industry, and then some of it, we know everybody has to be accountable for what they do, right? So what is your take on all of this that's going on? What is your take on how you feel about, do you feel like it's a shakedown of our Black men when they get so high up on the to a certain level that they just are being brought down? What do you think, Ali?
Um, there's always that air, going around that once we get to a certain level, or we get to a certain height, that our legs get chopped down from underneath us, or it's a takedown, or they only want us to get so far. So that could possibly be the case. I'm not going to say that it is, because I don't know. I'm not
Right,
sure. I'm
right.
in those circles, so I can't speak directly to it. So I do my best not to. But
That's
uh,
fair.
we have to be cognizant of the circles that we're in and the people that we allow inside of our circles, because everyone who's around us isn't for us.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the ones that look like us.
Yep.
In our industry, we've always had a lot of envy from within when it comes to our own people, ourselves, particularly. So, um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say that it's the man,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
but there's always that possibility. Then there's always the possibility of us doing things that can cause our demise as well.
Oh, oh yeah.
So we have to be cognizant of those things also. We can't, because sometimes, depending on who we are and our personalities, we can get the untouchable feeling. You know what I mean? And feel as though we've gotten to a point, or we've gotten so big or so large, to where we're invincible and nothing can actually happen to us. So it
Right.
causes us to do reckless things. It causes us to do things that are against, or the things that we want to do, or that are counterproductive to the things that we want to achieve or want to continue achieving. So
Absolutely.
I would say that you know the possibilities are endless for what it could be, and you know we can, all things are possible, but it's about having that plausible information that can be able to tell you actually what it is. And it could also be a combination of all of those things.
Yeah, it could be it
You,
all. It could
so it's really about being present in the moment and knowing what's actually happening with you and what you're doing to combat those things that could possibly happen to you, like with Tyler Perry, or with Diddy, or whatever. I mean, we have to think about it.
yeah.
Like, if
Yeah.
we look at, did things occur? Yes, they did. Do they have actual evidence that things happened? Yes, they did. Who did such said things? Diddy and Tyler Perry. So um I think the motives behind what's happening to them could be different depending on the case, who's involved, and those kinds of things. So it's just about knowing and understanding the facts of the situation, and then determining what your feelings are, or thoughts on it are from there.
Right. You said a couple of things. You said you've got to be careful, like yourself and people on your level, people on Tyler Perry level, people on a Diddy level. You got to be careful about who you bring around you, because you said it. Everybody's not for you. They can really put on that facade as that though they are with you, but the moment they see that crack that they can get into,
Mm-hmm.
then and it's sad that it has to be that way, but it's just the reality, especially when you're in a position such as yourself, such as them, to be vulnerable. It's like you're in a vulnerable position because of who you are. Being,
Definitely.
yes, so being in the position that you are, you're an independent producer, writer, all of those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you conduct a business behind the scenes? Like, we don't get to see behind the scenes. What we get to see is the glitz and glamours on this side of it, and we also get to hear the horrible stories that come out of it, but we weren't there, to
Right.
see it. Has there ever been a time, with you being in this industry for as long as you have been, has there ever been a time that you felt uncomfortable and you had to shut things down with particular people? How did you handle it, if so?
Um, I've never been uncomfortable. One of the luxuries that I have that most people don't is that I get to do business with my brother alongside of me.
Mm,
So I always have another set of eyes that are on the situation myself.
mm.
So whatever I don't see, he sees. And we have our own designated roles for our company,
Uh-huh.
and which allows us to be able to work so well together. So being uncomfortable has never been a thing. Have we gone into a situation to where we've sat down at the table with certain people and we said, "No, we're not working with them"? Yes.
Hmm.
And part of the biggest reason is because we felt like their integrity wasn't intact.
That's it. Yes.
So
Yes.
for us, my brother and I, we operate behind the scenes the same way we do in front of the scenes.
I
We
love it.
we stand up people. We mean what we say, and we do what we say we're gonna do. Our word is everything.
Yeah.
So there's never been a time that we haven't been able to fulfill something that we've put our words on. If
Right.
if we say we're gonna do it, that's what's gonna happen. And if we aren't able to do it, we'll say we're not doing it.
Yeah. So you
Um,
don't have a problem saying no because it don't feel right.
no,
Like some people,
we don't have a problem with saying no. We've walked away from deals several times
yeah.
because of that.
But I don't mean to cut you off. I'm
No,
sorry.
no, go ahead.
Yeah, because I feel like, some people are looking at the dollar signs, right? And
Hmm.
even if I don't feel comfortable, I'm gonna try to get through this thing because I need them coins, right? I need that money.
Right.
And so, and I think that's where we get in trouble at.
It
You
is.
Yeah, all money's not good money. You
Mm-mm.
have to sit and wait for the next opportunity, I think, and have discernment.
We call it blood money. Is a term that my brother and I came up with from my older brother.
Mhm.
And my older brother, he was in law enforcement for 20 plus years, and he said anything that you would have to sacrifice your integrity, yourself, your quality of life, and money is attached to it, that's blood money.
Yeah,
So we don't deal with blood money.
I love that.
Yeah, we don't deal with blood money. If it's blood money, we walk away from it.
That's what, we were just talking about that last night, even in this YouTube world, right? You gotta still walk with integrity. You still gotta create the content and be honest about it. You gotta, if you mess up, you gotta own it, and say, oh, that was the wrong information I gave you. You gotta own it, because you can get yourself in trouble that way as well. um we hear a lot of griminess in this industry, whether it's
Hmm.
music, whether it's film, whether it's fashion, whatever. The griminess, tell us about that. Why is this industry, why does it have that rap? Like, what's going on? And
Because
this is not something that just started.
no, I mean, anytime you attach money and fame to something, the grime is gonna come with it. And the entertainment industry, that's what it's about. It's about fame and it's about money.
Right.
So
Right.
those two things attached to it, they cause people to do things that we would say they wouldn't normally do. But all money and fame does is it ignites who you really are. And
Yes.
then you burn brighter and hotter in in your character that you would normally hide.
Yeah.
When you get money and when you become
Yeah.
famous, who you are really shines. Now, are you a good person? If you're a good person, then that good side of you really shines. But can we curse on here? Because I don't want
Yeah,
to.
you
Okay,
can.
I don't I don't want to. But if you're an asshole when you have money and when you're famous, you're an even bigger asshole.
Hmm.
So when it comes to the griminess of it, people are chasing money. So they want to get as much money out of you as possible. They want to
Mm,
squeeze that lemon for every single drop that it can get. And then once they squeeze the lemon, then they want to use the lemon peel
yeah.
to add seasoning to it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's all about money.
It's
100%
all
all
about
about money, and it's all about fame. It's all about acclaim. It's all about being able to say, I did this, I put my name on that, I gave you the ability to do, I have
Mhm.
the money to do, I
Mhm.
can't, you know what I mean? And that's really what it's about. It's the
Yeah.
griminess comes from the large amounts of money that are flowing through the entertainment industry on a daily basis.
And that's a fact. It's a fact. It's about and a lot of wanting to be in control.
Yeah,
Like you can
definitely.
see, like if you look back on some people that like you've been following for a while, and you can see how they acted before they became who they were, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Totally night and day
Yep.
from who you start. Like, well, who are you really? Are you that person or are you this person now? Right?
Well, I
Why
mean,
does why does it change people?
Maya Angelou said it best. When a person shows you who they are,
Believe
believe
it.
them. Believe them. I mean, and that's just what it is. Like I said, when people develop a relationship with money, it truly shows who they really are.
Yeah.
Definitely does.
Yeah. So now we know that we don't we're if you're not there, you can't really say which way or not. But you
Uh-huh.
can have your opinion, right?
Yeah, I can give an opinion.
You can give your opinion. We can all do that. These are just our opinions,
Right.
y'all.
No, I can give an opinion. I could
Yeah.
definitely give an
So I want to know, like, do you feel like, and I don't know if you've been following the Diddy story, right?
opinion.
Hey H Lee, hey Montana, hey everybody.
What's up,
Sweet.
H?
I don't know who that is. But hey everybody, thank y'all for being here. Um, can you give an opinion on just if you even hear some of the Diddy story and the victims, Cassie and just say Jane Doe, right? Do you believe that Cassie and Jane Doe that they were willing participants, or do you believe that they were forced to do something because of Diddy and who he is and what we heard about him?
Both things can be true at once. And I think a lot of people are excluding that. Were they of age to make
Hmm.
conscious decisions on their own? Yes, they were.
Hmm.
Um, but at the same time, there is a such thing that's called um coercion. There is such thing, and coercion can happen when there is a large disparity of power that allows the person who's underneath not to be able to, or not to feel like they do not have the ability to say no, because the person with power has said, if you don't do this, I am going to keep you from being able to do this, that, and the third.
And that's the coercion part. That's
So
your piece, right? Go ahead.
so do I believe both things are true at once? Yes, I do believe both things are true at once. I believe that Cassie did have the ability to say no when she did not, because she wanted to have that level of fame and also have the money, which circles back to what I just said about
Right.
what the business does to you. And I also believe that Diddy had the power of coercion over her, as he did with so many other people, men
Yeah.
included.
Yeah.
So, and these are this is the factual things. This isn't something that's speculation,
Right.
so I believe both things are true at the same time.
Yeah. And that's why it gets so confusing, even in a court of law, right? Even for a juror, right? Like on one hand, she wanted to participate in this thing, but then I'm hearing and I'm seeing this evidence on this side that's saying he's like, if you don't, then this is what's going to happen. Like, I pay you, I'm paying for your rent. And if you don't do it, then you don't get your rent paid. And I'm solely relying on him to pay my rent, right?
Right.
So it's just a thin line between it all. And so at the end of it, I was just like, whatever happens is not going to shock me. If he's guilty, it's not going to shock me. If he's not guilty, it's not going to shock me. But at the end of the day, he did get 3. He beat the biggest charge against him. He got 3 not guilties and 2 guilties. Do you think he should have been released that day?
I mean, if you found guilty on 2 charges, they're not going to release you regardless if all of them are fair charges. So you're still going to sit and have to wait for sentencing. Now, what could possibly happen is that they'll release him on time served on those 2 sentences, and then he'll go home because he's supposed to be sentenced in September or October, one of the 2.
Yeah.
So the judge could say, we're going to release you on time served and you'll go home, on such and such date. That's a possibility. I mean, I'm not a judge, so I can't say if he should have or shouldn't have gone home or not.
Do you feel like he should have?
Do I feel like I really don't have an opinion. I really don't have an opinion on it. And the reason why is because I'm a person who really minds their own business.
Yeah.
I stay out of all of that. I mind my business for real. I'm the guy, if you've seen the meme on social media where the house is burning down behind him and he cutting his grass with his back turned to it, that's me. Now I'll call a fire department and say, hey, the house burning down, but I'm cutting my grass.
I think that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing at all, though.
Right.
It protects you.
Yep. I stay out of all of that. I purposely not watched anything about the Diddy trial. I've purposely not read anything on social media about the Diddy trial because at the end of the day, he's another black man who's being dragged and trudged through the mud by his own accounts or not. It's still happening, and it's not something that I want to myself participate in, if that makes sense.
And you have that right. That makes sense. So that means that with Tyler Perry, you've intentionally not seen that. But I just want to know, like, I feel like this $260 million lawsuit against Tyler Perry is absurd.
I agree with that.
And I feel like for several reasons, because this guy had the opportunity to make a stand and say, I'm not that way, but he never really, we're not getting nothing that really is making me feel like Tyler crossed the line.
So I will say this. I have seen the text messages and those kinds of things. And for a man who's heterosexual or who's straight, when those types of messages come to you, or even you initially at the moment of contact, you shut it off and you shut it down.
Shut it down.
Completely. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. There is no questioning, none of that. So if you are a person that participates in that lifestyle and you allow that to happen, I don't feel like you should be able to sue a person that you allowed to pursue you in that way. Now, if the person did something outside of those boundaries or those lines that you all set within the nature of your relationship, whatever that relationship is, personal or professional, or the other, you know what I mean? That's something that you handle. But if you are complicit in the conversation, I do not feel like you should be able to pursue somebody civilly when you agreed to this conversation at the same time. Like
Yeah.
you were conversing back and forth with this man. It wasn't like this was something to where he was pursuing you and you were saying, "Hey, I'm not like that. Hey, I
Yes.
agree with this, that, and the other." Now, on
His
the
go ahead.
on the legal side, because I am a business owner,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to the HR part of
Yes.
being the business owner of 1500 Entertainment, I'm not going to speak to Tyler Perry Studios because
Right.
that's not mine, but 1500 Entertainment, if I had um, a subordinate or or an employee who was under me, and I was conversing with them in the nature or the manner that Tyler Perry is conversing with him, HR, yes, you are wrong. You should not be doing it. Why? They have rules against it because of the huge chasm of power that you have over this person. Which
Yeah.
is the reason why HR specifically does not want you to engage with people under you like that, because these things can actually happen.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's a person, if it's personal, it's personal. On their own personal time that wasn't between 9 to 5 and those kinds of things. If you go back and you look at the text messages that were posted, from what I remember, Tyler Perry he distinctly said, once we go back to work, I'm not going to be talking to you like
He
that.
said that. He,
So that indicates that they were not working. They were not on the job. So this is personal time.
ah,
So it's a very slippery slope when you deal with people who are working for you, because Tyler Perry
mm-hmm.
Studios is not a publicly traded company. It's his
Right.
own private entity that he owns.
Right.
So I'm sure they have an HR department because they're so large.
Right.
But it's just not the best practice for you to do, or for you to engage in with people that work under you when you're at work. When you're on your personal time, you're on your own personal time.
Yeah.
So I don't feel as though 260 million should even be a consideration,
I
because
don't either.
he was complicit. Now, if they can prove that he sexually harassed him in another way outside of his complicity, then that's totally different. But if the text messages are the only evidence that they have, I don't feel like Tyler Perry should be punished
Me,
for that, because the gentleman in question, he was complicit in the conversation.
yeah, and I feel the same way because I feel like you like immediately if you come at me like that, I'm gonna let you know, and it's not gonna be a nice no,
Right.
no, I need you to know I'm here to work. I'm not here for any of that. I'm
Right.
don't not like it's going to be known, right? He kind of played the game along with him, like, oh no, like he asked him at one point, "You see the handsome man in the like, man, what you talking about? Like, we ain't
Yeah.
doing this, right?" He went to his home several times, and spent the night at his home. Like, why do you keep going over? Like, that's why I say maybe I don't know. Maybe he did. Tyler Perry did make advances. I don't know. Wasn't there, but it's whatever he was doing. The accuser was not shutting it down like he just shut it down, or
Right.
wasn't me did make me feel like he felt a way about it, right?
Right.
Until now, I want to come out and sue you for $260 million.
Right. I mean, I agree with that. That's the other thing. Like, to circle back to what I said before, you got to keep your circle small.
Yes,
Everybody that's in your circle is not for you.
that's a fact. That's a fact. Well, I appreciate this. I appreciate this conversation. We've looked at it all every which way, but no one threw the HR aspect in it, right?
Yeah,
To where that's a real thing.
it
And
definitely is.
I learned that in the music business, like they were wondering, where's my HR person? Like there was HR such a thing, or did this just start happening? Like they didn't have nobody to help them, is why a lot of people had to go through what they went through.
So when it comes to in the entertainment business, when you enter into a contractual situation with, let's say, a Warner Brothers or a Sony Music Group, you are not an employee of Sony.
Oh,
You're not. You're not an employee.
Well,
You are an independent contractor,
okay.
which are two different things.
Right.
An employee is you work for the company,
Right.
they pay you a salary, or they pay you whatever your hourly wage is.
But don't they pay? They're not paying them?
Mm-mm,
Okay, help me. I'm
mm-mm.
listening.
So when you enter into a contract with an entity like a Warner Brothers or like a Sony or a Lionsgate or whoever, you
Mhm.
at that point are an independent contractor, and you have agreed to complete a job. That does not make you an employee of that company.
Okay.
So you do not have the same quote unquote HR rights as someone who is an actual employee of
Mhm.
Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers actually cuts you a check every 2 weeks, bi-weekly, or every week or whatever.
Right.
You pay into 401k and insurances and all of those kinds of things. They pay you are in fact an employee of.
Right.
But artists who sign contracts with those companies, they're independent contractors.
So that's why they don't have medical insurance, and
Exactly.
that's why they don't have. Okay.
Exactly. They independent contractors. You are contractually obligated to fulfill the thing that you said you were going to do. Be it, we signed a deal for five albums that you have, 5 records that you have to create for the entity. We are going to front you, $1.5 million as your signing bonus to complete the 5 albums. Once those 5 albums are done, our contract is complete. We're done.
So, but if they front them the $1.5 million, do they have to use that to make the music?
They
Is
don't
that
have to,
okay?
but that's a loan.
But whatever you do,
Whatever you do with it, you got to pay that back.
okay.
Because every company, when it comes to the music business, is called recuperable funds.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that the record company gives to you up front, you have to pay that back. You got to pay it back.
Then
However you use it is how you use it. If we gonna give you 1.5 million for this, what you decide to do with that 1.5 is on you. But understand that once the album comes out, that 1.5 is coming off the top to us. You don't receive a dime until we get that back.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah.
So
In the
what is
music
it?
business,
So if it flops, you in trouble.
if it flops, you are in debt to, Warner Brothers or Sony or whoever. Even if they drop you, you still owe them that debt. So what will happen is, let's say, for example, you were contracted by Sony, and Sony drops you, and you go to Universal. Once you go to Universal, Sony will still receive points off of your first album to go towards paying that debt off. So now, not only do you owe Sony, you still owe your new record company as well.
Ew,
But
no.
sometimes, depending on who the artist is, the new
Yeah.
record label will pay your debt off to
Oh,
the old company, and you'll go with a zero clean slate with them. But what happens is, when you negotiate your contract with the new company, if you're smart, you have them pay off your old debt, and you don't owe them that money.
right, right.
You negotiate that within your contract as well.
But you got to know the business,
But you got to
because a
know
lot
the business
of
to
people get
allow
caught up because they get into it because they don't know the nature of the
right,
business
and
side of it.
they seeking the fame and the fortune.
Fame and the fortune. That's all they.
That's
all
it.
they yeah. Of all careers, like this industry, it never ceases to amaze me.
Nah,
Like whether it's that situation, I have to get a loan from you. You thought I was good enough to sign me, and you're saying this is my bonus. Well, why I got to pay you my bonus back?
because it's
Like
not a bonus; it's a loan.
now I know, right?
It's
It's
a
a
loan. It is and what they also don't tell you is it's a high interest loan, because you're not just paying back the 1.5. You owe interest on that money.
I don't want it. I would have to say no.
Yeah, you owe interest on that money.
Or I would have to be investing in something I knew was going to double that. So I don't
Yep.
know. I don't know. Oh
Yeah,
no.
you
Yeah.
definitely owe interest on it. They're not just giving it to you for nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when we talk about a casting couch and we talk about all these things that don't have nothing to do with work, but if
Uh-huh.
you want to come work, you don't want to pay that interest on, you can come see me on the couch.
So
That's
here's the casting couch thing is the truth. I mean, that's what Harvey Weinstein was
mm-hmm.
indicted on, and you know, a lot of other people. So it's a true thing. But when it comes to film is different when you are casting an actor versus a music artist who's going to a record label.
Mm-hmm.
When
Mm-hmm.
when you cast somebody for a film, that's
Uh-huh.
the sole entity for that one film. So you're not obligated to do any other films outside of that
Gotcha.
unless
Okay.
unless you have an agreement with the studio. Now,
Okay.
if you have a production deal with the studio,
Uh-huh.
then you are obligated to do a certain amount of films for the studio um, before your contractual obligation is completed. But
Oh.
those aren't things that they do as much now as they used to do because independent film is so huge right now.
I was going to
Like,
say
yeah,
people independent.
prior
Oh,
to that, actors would actually sign production deals with studios to only do films for those studios. Prime
mm-hmm.
example is Clint Eastwood. All of Clint Eastwood's films have been done with Warner Brothers, every single one of them. But
Really?
yes, but it's because he had a production deal and still does have a production deal with Warner Brothers, as a matter of fact, since the 60s.
Right.
But
That's a long
he contractually signed a deal to do a certain amount of films for Warner Brothers per year.
And do you think that was because that's what he wanted to do, or
Yeah, because it's steady income.
oh, because okay, I got you. I
It's
got
steady income.
you.
You're working, but not only are you working, you're doing movies. So
Yeah.
you're making millions. You First of all, the production deal is its own deal in itself. So you sign a production deal for a certain amount of money, and then you shoot the films and you get paid from the budget of the film as well. So, but it contractually obligates you to do certain things too. Like you have to do press releases,
I was
you have
gonna say,
to do
yeah.
press runs and press tours. You have to go where they tell you to go because now you are an employee. Well, not necessarily an employee, but you're contractually obligated
To
to
do
do
that,
those things because it's in your contract.
which is why Monique felt a way about Tyler Perry. And them was like,
Right,
I did my press run.
right,
Now you want me to go over here and do a
right.
press run, and I feel
And
my contract.
that
Yeah.
was on a personal thing because they felt like because we were friends that you would do this for us, and she felt like, no, if you my friend, all of y'all billionaires, you would pay me to do this press run.
Yeah.
So I can understand both sides.
I can understand both sides because when I'm a friend, I'm your friend,
Yep,
right? But I mean, I want it to be reciprocated too, right?
exactly.
I really, if I'm call you my friend, we're friends, but it's that some level that we have to both be on that same page that I
Right.
feel the contract of the press run. And now you want me to do something extra. I'm not
Yep.
asking you to pay me just the whole heck of a bunch, but they were offering her to pay her way there and to put her
To
up
put
and
it up and all of those
and
kinds of
all that.
things. Yeah.
So I probably, as a friend, probably would have said because I don't know. People are different.
I mean, everybody different. I know if my friend calls me, that, and I'll use Bots for example.
Yes.
If Bots calls me and he say, "Hey man, I need you to come and shoot this video for me," I'm going.
Yeah.
There's no questions
So think
asked.
about it now because that's your genuine
Exactly.
friend.
That's my
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah.
And that's just the way we operate. I know if I call him and I say, "Hey man, I got this movie I need you to do the score for," he like, send it to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is the way that we operate because we're genuine friends.
And it rolls both
And
ways.
it,
I'm
and it
here. I'm gonna run.
exactly.
He's back. He gonna we and you know that, right?
Yeah.
You know that's a number that you can call. Which that's what I thought about Tyler and Monique. That they had that kind of relationship. That if Tyler calls and say, hey, Monique, go do this for me. But in turn, if Monique was like, ooh, Tyler, I'm down, me and my household need this, can you give me some work? Can you do something?
Right.
So there was a breakdown somewhere with that.
I think so too. I don't know the particulars about the situation, and I'm only speaking from what she's publicly said on several
Exactly.
shows or whatever. But
Exactly.
like I said, I can understand where she was coming from, but I could also understand where they were coming from too, because they felt like you were friends.
You were my friend.
But everybody's relationship is different. Everybody operates, on different levels, and nobody actually knows what their conversation was behind closed doors.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, and everybody has a different meaning of friend. Like, what
yeah,
do you mean when you say you're my friend? What does that mean? What does that look like? Right.
right. What does it look like? What does
Yes.
it look like? Because it is like the friends that I have, the people that I call friend. I know if I call them at 3 o'clock in the morning and I say, hey, I need you to ride with me. I can't tell you where we going. I can't tell you what we going to do.
Come get me.
But
Yep.
some people gonna get hurt, and we might not come back. All of my friends will say, whose car are we taking?
Yep.
My true friends will say that.
The friends.
Whose car are we taking?
Yeah.
Ask no questions. None of that. Whose car are we taking? And that's the end of the conversation.
That's a friend.
Yeah.
We might not come back.
We might not come back.
All right, let's roll. Yeah, that's your friend.
Yeah.
That's your friend. Yeah.
We might not come back. So
yeah. And I got a couple of them. I don't have a whole bunch of them. But
no,
I know there's a couple that's gonna do that.
I got 10 fingers. I can count them on one hand.
One hand.
That's it.
That's it. Oh, this is a good conversation, Ali. I appreciate you being here. I want to give the audience a chance to ask questions, come up. I'm going to drop the link in the chat right now and see if anybody has any questions for you. I know we won't keep you much longer, but if they have questions, answer a couple of questions and then we'll let you.
Hey, I'm here. I'm on your time. You just let
me. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and drop that. I appreciate that.
You the boss right now.
No. Okay, let's see. All right, so you guys, listen, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Thank y'all for listening in and being here. We appreciate y'all. Just don't forget to hit the like to keep us in the algorithm. It's lit over here. So if you have questions, the link is there. Hit the link, come up and ask Ali any question you have about the film business, maybe a little bit about Tyler, P. Diddy, whatever he's willing to or can answer. Just opinions only. But I like the conversation about, the film and in the music business, about them knowing, about how that works. Cause I just learned something tonight and that's interesting to me. So if you guys have something, I'm going to give you the opportunity to do it. Did I get the link out there? Yeah, the link is out there. So hit the link and let's talk about it. Let me see. All right. So while we're waiting, Ali, I know you said it before, but go ahead and tell people a little bit about your Darwin film, a little bit about what you got coming up and how they can find you on all social media sites.
Okay. So Darwin right now is in all black original. AMC's all black. It's been out since March 20th. It stars Danielle LaRoche. It stars Kieran Harris. People on the social media and the internet knows him as King Kieran. It also stars Martin Batts Bradford and Lionel Johnson and Mr. Matt Kimback. And it's a film about these group of hustlers who actually come across a deadly person that they did not realize that they were going to come across when doing a job, trying to pull a job. So it's an action-packed film full of emotion and
it's so good.
You watched it.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad you've seen it. So
yes,
that's Darwin is on all black, right? It is you can go on all black and stream it. You can go through Amazon Prime. If you subscribe to Amazon Prime, you can go through Amazon Prime. They have a free 7-day trial for all black that you can watch the film. You can also go to All Black directly and check it out. I also have several other films. My film prior to this one was Where Loyalty Lies. It stars
Yes.
Mr. Sam Ant from Viral Hip Hop News. Him and Jamal. Um, Jesus Christ, I'm drawing a blank. Jamal Dennis, one of
Mm-hmm.
my close friends from New Orleans. Cameo Sherelle. She is also played on a show on All Black called Double Cross, and she was most recently on the Black Hamptons that was on BET Plus.
Wow.
And yeah, Chanel Brown is in that one as well, um, and a couple others. That one we just recently ended our distribution deal with our distributor, so we are in the process of releasing that on other platforms. So that should be out with a game for people to watch within the next couple months. And our film Staycation, which stars Jennifer Freeman from so many things, but the thing that people may recognize her from, she was the daughter on the show My Wife and Kids with Tisha Campbell and
Yes.
um, so that film is out everywhere. The easiest place to watch that is it's on Folsom. To watch it for free, it's on Folsom. Or if you can catch it on the Aspire Network, it's on the Aspire Network as well. And Aspire Plus and several other places. I just can't remember all of the places that it
Yes.
is. Um, and our first film, Forgive and Forget, it's everywhere. The easiest place to watch that one is on Tubi though. So, and those are our films that we've done from 1500 Entertainment. I produced a film called Becky that you can watch on Tubi. That's the easiest place for you to go to see that one. It's on many platforms as well, Urban Flicks and a couple others, but that's the easiest place to go and see that one. And next film that I'm working on right now is actually Becky 2, which is the sequel to Becky. I produced.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh. And we're in the process of finishing that one up. That one should be finished within the next couple weeks, and it should be released in the fall.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And then the H. Lee Show. The H. Lee
Yes.
Show, we are actively doing completing the episodes on the H. Lee Show. And we're gonna be shopping that one
So
really,
crazy.
really soon. Um to get that to network as well. So we got a lot of stuff that's going on that
That is mad
we're doing.
crazy.
Yeah, we're doing a lot.
Congratulations.
So
Congratulations.
thank
No
you.
wonder you can't have another acting class because you're too busy.
Yeah, I'm
You're too
also I'm also finishing up my master's. You know,
no.
yeah, I'm finishing up my MFA in screenwriting. I'm a student of knowledge, so always learning, always growing, and it just better prepares us for those next steps. And my brother, he graduated from film school, so I felt like it was only right that I'm credentialed as well.
That's
So
right.
yeah, so
Oh, that's so good.
yeah,
Y'all keep doing your thing. Keep giving people opportunities. Like you have opened up opportunities for people, for our people, for just people in general. And I think that, that's the best thing that I think like that's the reward for me. Like when I can help somebody, that's my reward is that
yeah,
I've helped somebody.
that,
And you have that you're in that position, boss, to help people and give them opportunities, right? And so, congratulations to that. Montana, you up here. Do you have any comments or questions for Ali?
I want to know, hey, Mr. Ali, how are you?
how you doing, man?
Well, when you get into acting business, it's better that you go to school for it and graduate.
No, actually, all you don't have to go to school and graduate in acting, but you do need to. It's imperative that you take some type of acting class. And the reason why is because taking acting classes allows you to be able to understand the art of acting, but it also gives you those fundamentals that you need to be able to break down a character, break down a script, break down a scene. Um, understand how to get in contact and connection with your emotions that have to transfer over to whatever the scene calls for at that time. So you you don't necessarily have to go to school for it, but you do need to have some type of training. So find you an acting class, find you an acting troupe, um, something that's going to allow you the ability to be able to learn and get used to doing things outside of yourself, because acting is you becoming someone else. And that's one of the hardest things for people to be able to do, is remove yourself from a character and portray that character freely without judgment. Because contrary to popular belief, we constantly judge ourselves all the time.
Hmm.
So, in order for you to be able to fully embody a character, you have to do it free of judgment. And the best way to do that is to actually do it.
The reason
Hey,
why I asked you that question, oh my bad.
no, go ahead, Montana. I'm sorry.
The reason why I asked you that question because you look at certain shows or certain movies and you see a 3 year old, 4 year old acting like they've been doing this for 20 plus years, and I want to know how they get them in compliance for these different roles and these different scenes.
That's a good
So
question.
so with child actors, either they have it or they don't.
Mm.
When they're that young, it's a part of their own personal characters. So they haven't reached the level of understanding to where they can remove themselves from a particular character to be able from that character to insert the actual character itself. So usually kids that are that young, ages 3 or 4, they're hired or they're cast in that role because of their natural personality.
And then
Ah,
another thing is you see those kids, right? You see them in different shows or different movies, and their parents was nowhere near this type of business, and some of those kids be the breadwinners for their family.
They do. Somebody that a person that was that way, and it's like that with most child actors, but Kiki Palmer was definitely one of those.
And
uh-huh.
before to cut you off, and
But
before I'm sorry, and before to cut you off, like how those parents get those resources to put their child in these different
so
uh
the first thing that you have to do, especially when you're a child actor, is you need an agent. You have to
mm,
find an agent, someone who works specifically with kids. Then once you find that agent, the agent then finds those jobs. But now, because independent film is so popular, you can find actual films that are casting for roles for children on social media. They have actual open auditions for children for films all the time. So where you don't actually need a agent to be able to be in these films. Now, if you want to get on the larger platforms, you definitely need an agent, and those are the easiest ways to be able to do it for parents to be able to find a way for their children to get into films and those kinds of things. Having an agent is the easiest way to do it.
I have a question. So, a lot of times, or I've heard or I've interviewed actors or actresses, and they talk about how they really get out of themselves and step into that character,
Mm-hmm.
and how sometimes when they go home at night, it's hard for them to get out of character. And
It is.
so, is there a class for them to, like? How do you learn how to turn it off?
So for some people, they can turn it on and turn it off without an issue. Some people have that ability. Others who are method actors, they live in that space the entire time they are that character. So let's say if you're shooting a film and that film is shooting for 10 to 15 days. Well, prior to that, as soon as you get the script, you insert yourself into that character. So let's
Right.
say let's say you get a script for a film that you're shooting in, we're in July right now. Let's say I get a script for a film that I'm shooting in October this month. I'm living in that person from July until October if I'm a method actor.
Mm-hmm.
So that means I eat what they eat, I speak how they speak, I live how they live, If you are an extreme method actor, I don't allow my family to call me anything but the name of my character. So what happens is it's you have to purge yourself of that person.
How?
Usually the best way to do that is to go to therapy.
Really?
If it's a character that's heavy, that's filled with emotion, that's heavily immersed in emotion, those are usually the hardest characters to come out of, because giving those types of emotions, the sad and the depressed and the angry and those things, it takes a toll on you mentally and physically. So if you're not a person who can turn it on and off, like I said, we have people that can do that. Taraji P. Henson is somebody that can turn it on and off. Like
Yeah. So yeah, I got that question from her because she was helping on Color Purple
mm-hmm.
as recent as that for
Yep.
the them was like, listen, y'all gotta listen. Like when we break,
Yep.
and really get back to who you are,
Yeah.
really feel,
You have people like Taraji who can turn it on and off, but you also have those that immerse themselves into the role so deeply that they lose who they actually are
this
because of
woman.
that.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. This
Because of that.
woman. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
have so many questions. But this, I can't remember. She's an actor. She came off a set one night. She went and she was still in character. She could not get out of
Mm-hmm.
character. She went to the gas station to pump gas, and something happened. Like the character she had these heavy emotions, and she was still engorged in
Yep.
that. And something happened with her. Like they had to call the police and everything. Like it was
Yeah.
that serious. And I was
Yeah.
like, does it really get that serious?
It does. I mean, you have to think about it from that point of view or from that perspective. People who pretend to be other people all the time, they have them committed because they consider
Yep.
them to be schizophrenic.
Right.
People who live with other people inside their heads
Right.
constantly. That's multiple personality disorder, which is a clinical diagnosis for people who
Right.
have issues. So when you think about a person who immerses themselves in several characters or in the mind of several people per year, you can lose yourself if that is the method of acting that you use to be, or how you use your instrument. Everyone doesn't do that, but a lot of people do. So
Yeah.
the best way for you to be able to make it through that is to go to therapy, because what most actors do when they are so method, they lose who they actually are
Mm-hmm.
because they've turned themselves into this other person, and they
Yeah.
have to go to therapy to be able to find themselves again.
That's crazy. Harlem said, is all of Ali's work on all black?
No, all of it is not on all black. The only film that we have on all black right now is Darwin. But you can see Forgive and Forget and Staycation. Forgive and Forget is on a bunch of things, but Tubi is the easiest place to see that. And Staycation is on Staycation and Where Loyalty Lies are not on any free platforms at the moment. Staycation is actually on Aspire TV and Aspire TV Plus if you want to watch it there. And Where Loyalty Lies is in flux right now. We're in the process of getting another distribution deal done for that.
Awesome.
Like with
Um,
me,
no, your turn. I'm a hush because I can talk. I'll call
like
Ali if I need to.
I always wanted to be in the entertainment business. Like, I thought that I always would make a great actor because I was always naturally funny. Like in school, I always was naturally funny. And in school we had drama classes and all, but I never took those classes serious. And now as me getting older, I wish that I could because I knew that those classes could lead up to, you know, a career in a movie industry.
Right. Well, I mean that's where most actors start off. They start off in community theater. They start off in high school, middle school theater departments and theater class, or They'll get in a play in college if you go to college or something like that. But that's the first place that you actually learn those fundamentals of acting to be a good actor. If acting is something that you want to do, you have to do it. It's not something that you can say I want to do it and not do it. You just got to put yourself out there.
I guess
Yeah.
during the time when I was in, I mean, I'm sorry. I guess during the time when I was in school, we was, I guess what made me not interested in it, because we used to do like crazy stuff like Romeo and Juliet. Like, I wasn't interested in none of that type of stuff.
That's the foundation of the
Mm-hmm.
the classics are what the first things that you learn how to become an actor, how to act. So here's what I was saying. I'm stealing this from Denzel Washington because it's the truth. Film is a director's medium. Stage is an actor's medium. If you want to act, if you want to learn how to act, if you want to be an actor, you got to get on stage. You have to. Now, because on stage, people come to see the actors. They come to see what you can do. When you go to a movie, you're seeing what the director can do. You're not seeing what the actor can do. And the reason why is because the director is showing you what they want you to see. So all the acting that's happening around what you're looking at, you could be, like he said, somebody could be focusing on a shoot, somebody's foot, while the actor is delivering a monologue, and you never look at their face. You're only looking at their foot. That's because that's what that director wants you to see. But on stage, you're only looking at the actors. So if you want to learn how to act, get in the theater.
And then, yeah, I also took a class with Ali, right? An acting class, Scared to Death. He even challenged us to go, even just like not even a seasoned actor, just like first time even doing it, right? To go do an audition. That was one of the things he challenged us is just go in your hometown or wherever it is that you can find any kind of audition. Not trying to go get the part, but if you get it, okay. But just go do it for the experience. What do you say about that, Ali? Like you,
If acting is something that you want to do, you have to conquer your fear of self. And the only way to do that is to go out and put yourself out there. Literally, you have to put yourself in front of the people that you feel like are judging you, because they are. But you have to not judge yourself, because they're going to judge you regardless. Right? So what you have to do is you have to remove your self-judgment, because what that allows you to do is to be the best performer and the best actor that you can be. And the only way that you can do that is by going on that audition in front of those two people, those three people that's sitting at that table, that's looking at you and saying, all right, act. And that's the reason why that's so hard and that's so tough, is because we are afraid that they're going to see the things that we don't like about ourselves. That's the reason why people are afraid of public speaking. That's the reason why people are afraid of auditioning. That's the reason why people are afraid to do those types of things, because we don't want people to see the things we do not like about ourselves. Acting, especially in front of a large group of people, or in front of one person or two people, it's an intrusive and it's an invasive experience, because you have to, if you're going to do it right, you have to mentally strip yourself. You have to be naked mentally in order for you to be able to do it, because if you're not, everything that you are self-conscious about is going to come out.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Bots, what's up, Bots?
What's up, boy?
You're finally here. Also, like I interviewed the little girl on Disney. And at the time she was having had scripts for Disney. She had scripts for another show and I was like, how do y'all's mind change from this person on Disney to now I'm going to the big movie screen? I got this part in this. How are we switching from that character? Now I got to get out of this character and get out. Like, You got to train. I mean, who's going to train me to do that?
It
That
takes you have to train yourself.
like
It
that's
first it first starts here. Everything starts here, right? Once you allow yourself to release yourself from judgment, right? You can transition in and out of any character that you need to, because you are not judging yourself first, and then you aren't judging the character second. So if you are a person who is not method, because people who are method actors, they only do one project at a time.
I can see why.
Yeah, they only do one project at a time. Because one is too mentally taxing to try and do multiple characters and live in them completely. Because what's going to happen is you're going to have character bleed. One character is going to bleed into the other.
Yeah.
That emotion from that character is going to bleed into the other character, and then you can't play either characters truthfully because you're living with both.
It's true.
You can't do it. It just makes it extremely hard for people who are method. But for those who aren't method, they can bounce in and out of a character like it's nothing.
So would you say that people that like these big actors and actresses, would you say that what percent of them would you say are not method actors? Because if it was me, I would be a method actor. I know that. I know it. That's how I feel. But what percentage would you say are method actors? Like majority?
Yeah, I can't put a percentage on it, but it's a lot. I'll say that. And the reason why I'll say it's a lot is because most actors who are serious about their craft, they go to acting class, and most acting classes teach actors to immerse themselves within that character.
Yeah.
So I can't give an exact number, or I can't say exactly how many or what's the percentage, but it's a lot. I
Yeah.
can't say that. I can't say, because that's the way you learn. That's the way you're taught as an actor to pursue a character, to understand the character, to truly give yourself up to that character itself. You have to become that person. But there's also levels to method acting. Some actors are only method when they're on set. They're only like that when they're on set. Some actors are method 100% of the time.
Uh-huh.
So even Jim Carrey is that way as well. So even when right. So when you get to certain levels of film production, when you're talking about your 10-figure budget films,
Right.
you have days where you're shooting one scene and they're only shooting a certain side of that scene, which means, so let's say if it's you and I in a scene, they're only shooting your side of the scene, which means all of your dialogue, all of your emotions, all of your reactions. So if I'm not on camera, I don't have to dress in wardrobe. I can be regular and read lines to you just to give it to you, right?
Oh.
But this is the thing. Those actors who are 100% method, prime example, rest in peace, the guy who played the Joker in Batman. He would come to set on the days that he was not on camera and get dressed full makeup, full costume, everything, to read lines to his counterparts. But the crazy thing is, he was not full method.
Oh.
He wasn't full method. Now, when you talk about somebody like Daniel Day-Lewis, when he did Abraham Lincoln, he dressed like Abraham Lincoln the entire time he was shooting the film and be in pre-production. He ate what Abraham Lincoln ate. He talked the way Abraham Lincoln talked. He had his family call him Abraham. If they called him Daniel, he would get angry. So, like I said, there's different levels to method acting. So
Yeah, I guess it just depends on who you are.
yeah,
What your style is. Yeah,
it does. It does. It definitely does.
that's
It definitely
crazy.
does.
This show is cool. Oh,
So like today, if I wanted to get in the industry, so it's best for me to go to school for it, and where the school and like to participate in different stage acting classes or whatever.
You don't necessarily have to go to school. There are acting classes that aren't affiliated with any schools at all. You just have to, whatever city you live in, just go online and type in acting school, type in acting classes, and
and,
a bunch of them will come up.
and they promote you or whatever if you try to go
No,
to the next level.
that's just class. If you looking for somebody to promote you and somebody to, then you have to find an agent. But with an agent, you have to have some type of work that you've done before you'll get picked up by an agent. Agents will take auditions, like they'll have open calls for auditions sometimes for agencies, but that's only if they're looking for people to represent.
so I have a question around that. So how do you know who's, like you say, go online and look, but a lot of time it be like, and I'm just going to use Tyler Perry's, like people will promote Tyler Perry's got open casting coming and send your photo. Like,
That's usually
how
for
do you
extra roles.
determine what's the real deal?
That's usually for extra roles. If you see any time that somebody says Tyler Perry has open casting calls, he's having an open casting call for people who's going to be walking in a grocery store, for people who are going to be walking down the street, for people who are going to be patrons in a restaurant. That's what he's having open casting for. If you actually want to be considered for a role in a film, you're going to have an agent.
Uh,
Period, point blank. Or you know a producer who's on the film that says, I want this person in the film. Outside of that, you're gonna have to have an agent, because there are websites that post the casting calls for those roles that agents only have access to. So you'll never find those roles online anyway, because they aren't posted on websites that the general public have access to. Only agents have access to those websites.
So with those agents, you have to pay them up front. Like what kind of
They
they have
usually
fees?
take, it depends on the agency that you're with. Right now, I think it's a 10% agent fee, but that generally comes once you receive an offer for a film. And that fee can either be paid by the production company, or you can negotiate that, or it'll come out of your pay if you get cast for the role.
I just want to walk on the roll on the thing, and I just want to tell them I want to roll, and then I want somebody to give me a mentor and walk me through how to do it so I can do it really well, and then I'm an
Yeah,
actor.
that's not gonna happen, because
That's what I want to happen.
that costs too much money.
Why?
That costs too much money. That's not the way that it goes. When you're doing production, you expect people to come on. They'll come on a job and be ready to do their job,
Right,
ready to
absolutely.
go to
Yeah.
work. Because I mean, you on set at minimum 12 hours a day, minimum 12. And
Yeah.
for a director or a producer, it's more like 14 to 16. Because in the way that my brother and I do things, we're usually the last person to leave.
Yeah.
So we don't allow people to just leave without without us not being there. Like, we sit and wait for the last person. They call it tail lights. We wait for the last tail light to pull off, and then we
Uh-huh.
leave.
Oh,
Because,
wow.
and that's uncommon for directors and producers. They're usually the first people to go. But for us, we like to show our crew that it's a team effort and it's a family atmosphere. So we're gonna be here
Oh,
as long as y'all here. Once y'all get ready to leave and go home, that's when we ready to leave and go home.
Like
so
you
they,
see a lot of people, like you see a lot of people on social media that do like comedy skits and stuff like that. You think comedy skits help you along with your career?
It can, but you actually have to have talent.
Mm-hmm.
because it's a lot of comedy skits that's happening and with people that don't have talent, but
Mm-hmm.
it's it's a very small percentage of people that do comedy skits that actually get the opportunity to do things on major screens. If you look at Desi Banks, if you look at Mojo Brooks, um if you look at Country Wayne, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
That's funny.
Pretty V, B Simone. These are all people who have millions of followers, but they also do their own shows. You know, Mojo Brooks is a stand-up comic. Desi is a stand-up comic. Country Wayne is a stand-up comic. So they actually do things outside of doing the skits online to help to continuously build their craft. And not just
Mm-hmm.
that, Desi can actually act. You know, so it
I
and
agree with that.
doing those skits, and not to say that Mojo and Country Wayne can't, but um doing those skits, that's training. Constantly doing it over and over again, they're working that muscle to continuously act and be in scenes with other people and working that acting muscle to get used to timing, to get used to learning lines, to get used to improvisation, to get used to being in a scene with other people and not being afraid of the camera and those kinds of things. So all of that stuff is still practice. That's still work.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing you saying is that you don't necessarily have to go to school for acting, but you want to get into some acting classes. You want to get yourself out there by maybe going on maybe some auditions just to feel what it feels like. Maybe get on some stage plays. Maybe even do some online stuff of yourself if you think you're good enough. Even take some headshots and send them in and get just so it's prepare you prepare yourself, right,
Right.
to grow and to educate yourself. I think educating is the most important. How it works,
It
and
definitely.
and the only way that you find out how it works is you get in the mix.
Yeah, you have to. But and this is a full circle thing. The only thing that combats nervousness and fear is preparedness.
Yep,
So the more nervous you are, it's probably because you're not as prepared as you think you
true.
should be.
That's the truth.
So you over prepare. If you over prepare, it's a breeze. But if you under prepare, you're gonna get your shit ate.
Yeah. That's like public speaking. Like sometimes I go out to speak and I know I'm just not prepared and I'm like feel like I'm gonna pass out because but when I know, the confidence level is like through the roof when I know what I'm gonna
Mhm.
talk about. So and it's
Yeah,
because I'm prepared for it. So yeah.
right. And it's when you've done the work. So
Yeah.
even if you, let's say you go and sit on a panel and you know you're supposed to speak on a panel, and the less confident you are at speaking is because you don't know your craft as well as people would think that you do.
That's a
So
fact.
you'll be afraid, or you'll have that nervous energy to where I really don't want to do this. They're gonna see that I'm fraud. They're gonna see that I don't know what I'm talking about. This, that, and the other. But
Yeah.
as long as you prepared, you can
You
sit down
gotta
and
know.
you can talk to anybody. That's one
Yeah.
of the things me and my brother say all the time, man. We can sit down and have a conversation with Steven Spielberg like it's nothing.
Yeah.
You
You're
know,
prepared for it. You're
right?
prepared.
Martin Scorsese, Francis Ford Coppola, all of these directors who are considered to be the pinnacle and the top people in our industry. We can go at it with the best of them because it's preparedness.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I love it. Well, Ali, thank you so much. I'll have to shout out everybody that came into the chat tonight and participated in talking to us. And thank you, Ali, for your time and your wisdom in this arena. So if anybody's interested in being an actor like me, but I don't want to do the work. I just want them to give it to me. But no, really, you have to do the work. You have to prepare yourself. And so we appreciate you for dropping those gems for free today. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm not
Yeah.
a I'm not a person that believes in knowledge hoarding, or that I need to be paid
Yeah.
for knowledge. This knowledge is for everybody.
Yeah.
It should be free. It's not something that you should have to pay me for to give to you. Uh,
Yeah, well, it's appreciated.
yeah, with whoever wants to know, just let me know. You can find me on Instagram at 1500 Entertainment LLC, or Ali Abdin at Ali Abdin on Instagram, and same thing on Facebook. And I'm an open book.
Okay, I think I spelled it
And
right.
I thank you, man. Just like I said, you got a lot of people, that would have, that's in your position that would have charged $2,000 or $3,000 for a deposit for a seminar, just to answer those same questions that I asked you. So I really
Yeah.
appreciate you.
You welcome, man. No problem. I don't have an issue with giving away knowledge. Knowledge is free.
Yeah, and I appreciate it too. I knew that. I hope I spelled that right.
You
Is that
did.
right? Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, you guys, there it is. Go on Instagram. You can follow him there. Like he said, if you have questions, I really am interested in acting. I'm just a nervous person. So that's why I play a lot around it. But I would really love to do it. I'm just nervous. That's all, and that holds me back. But Montana, it sounds like you're interested. If I was you, because every time you come in the chat, you have us laughing. So there's something there.
Like
I
with
just
me, it's like I could, like, if you just give me like a part, I could play that part to the T. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I was. That's just how I am. But hey, I rather had the certifications for it.
Well, you just need to put yourself out there, Montana. It sounds like you're interested. Like if that's something you want to do, like I tell everybody, like if it's something you want to do, you love doing that, like you have the talent to do, go do it. All you can do is maybe mess up and learn from it. If you mess up, you get to learn from it.
And
At the
then
end,
not go ahead.
Montana. At the end of the day, the worst thing that they can say is no.
That's it.
And then you making a career, making your dream living off of just being yourself.
That's it. The worst thing that they can say is no.
That's right, Ali. Just
They're not gonna publicly shame you. They're not gonna publicly embarrass you or any of those kinds of things. The worst thing that they can say is no. Now, I will say this: people in the entertainment business, music, uh, film, stage, all of those kinds of things, they are assholes. So they can
Mhm.
be assholish with you. But as long as you maintain yourself, you maintain your integrity, you continue to be the person that you are. The assholes are gonna live everywhere, and they're really
When you say assholes, what do you mean? Like what? Like how?
it's people who live and breathe on with stepping on others.
Hmm.
So they'll do anything to cut you down. They'll do anything to tell you how bad you are in something rather than assisting and helping you. I mean, let's be honest. It's a lot of bad films all over the place, and one of the things that I pride myself on is always offering my help to anybody who needs it when it comes to making a film. Because there is nothing that you can't learn about something that you already do. Even myself, I know I'm not the foremost expert on film. I consider myself to be an expert on film, but I don't know everything. There's always something that can be learned, and I'm always looking for that knowledge. So I'm always willing to have conversations with people and to learn as much as I can about this thing that I enjoy and that I love, which is film. So for me, it's just about helping people and leading with love. Like that's the biggest thing that
Yeah.
we don't do as people. We do
Yeah.
not show each other care and compassion enough.
That's the
And
truth.
when you lead with that, everything else falls into place.
So, so true.
Everything else falls into place. You just treat people like people.
That's right. Be kind to everybody. It doesn't
That's
matter.
it. That's it. Treat people the way that they deserve to be
Right.
treated.
Right.
I'm not saying the way that you want to be
That's
treated.
right.
You treat people the way that they deserve to
Yep.
be treated.
I got that. Yep.
You got that?
Yep. I got that.
Because
I got
everybody don't deserve nice marbles.
Right. That's right.
Everybody don't deserve nice Marvel. So
Yeah,
you treat them the way that they deserve to be treated.
absolutely.
And when you live that way, you give everybody the equal opportunity to put their foot in their mouth, and you put your foot in their ass.
Whew.
Everybody is the equal opportunist at that point. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And you just give them that. You give them that opportunity, and people will show you who they are.
They,
Eventually, they will.
it's a
Even if they
fact.
even if they putting up a facade, even if they putting on a show, they are
It's
going to show you who they are eventually at some point. So
a whole fact.
you just have to be cognizant and you have to be aware, but never allow yourself to change who you are. You just give the people the version of you that they deserve.
Yeah.
So if they deserve your asshole, you give them your asshole. You know what I'm saying? If they deserve the sweet, kind Marvel, you give them the sweet, kind Marvel. If
Yeah.
that's what they deserve, you give people what they deserve.
Right. That's right. I love this. I love this. This was good. Did you see your message?
Oh, that's my son.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, man. Love you too, man.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah,
Yes. Well,
that's my old.
anyway. Oh. All right. So yeah, I keep thanking you. I can't thank you enough. Thank
You're
everybody
welcome.
in the chat. Maybe we'll have you back whenever your next project drops and we can talk about it and how it
I
goes.
would love to come back.
This is the last question. Last question, I promise. Have you ever had to fire somebody?
Yes, I have.
Why? And why? And what happened?
So I actually felt bad about it because he was trying to learn, but so we were on set at a location and using someone's house because in film that's one of the things that you have to do because especially in independent film because it's so expensive to make films, you have to ask for favors.
Right.
And people let you use their own personal things. So we
Right.
were shooting at a house, and one of our PAs, that's a production assistant, stole the people charger from their house. Took their phone, took their phone charger. People called and asked,
Oh my
did anybody see a charger?
Lord.
Because our charger is missing. So we found out that it was one of the production assistants. And I asked him, I said, man, why would you do that? And he said, well, I figured that it was just laying around. I figured they didn't need it. I'm like, man, you in somebody's house.
Yes.
This is, you can't find something in somebody else's house. This is their house. So
My God.
anyway, we had to let him go.
Yeah.
We had to let him go. And he was a good
It
guy.
falls back on y'all. Like
It does. It does. It
we
makes
gave you Ali this house, and
Yep.
now we got something missing. Like
Yep.
I'm trusting you,
Yep.
right? That's
Yep.
crazy.
And it comes back on you, and people look at you and they say, well, we're not going to let you use the house anymore because you brought somebody in here that stole. But not just that, it also has a trickle down effect,
I
right?
was just going to say that.
Because that experience could have soured you on working with any film makers. Prime example, there used to be a hospital here in Houston that we used to be able to use that would allow us to use their facilities to shoot. Filmmaker went there and wrecked the hospital, trashed it, was messy, and all. So now they won't allow any film productions to come there and shoot anymore.
Oh my gosh! See, one sour apple can
Yep.
spoil it.
A bunch.
Just
And
be
it definitely
honest.
does.
Be honest.
Just do the right thing.
Do the right thing, even when ain't nobody watching you.
Because
do the right thing.
Because somebody is always watching, Marvel.
Regardless, when you think they're not,
somebody is always watching. That's something I tell my kids. Do the right thing all the time, even when nobody is watching, because somebody is always watching. Always.
That's fact.
Yep.
Well, we're gonna leave y'all with that. Do the right thing, even when you think ain't nobody watching, because they are watching.
Yep. Somebody always watching.
All right, Ali, I'll catch up with you sometime. And everybody else, thank y'all for being here. We'll be right back here tomorrow. So I hope you'll join us on your way out. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, become a member, and go follow Ali on Instagram at 1500 Entertainment LLC. Go watch his movies, his films on All Black and every other platform that he shared with us. Go stream and let's support him where we can. You guys have a good night. Happy Sunday.
Thank you,
All right,
Marva. I
y'all.
appreciate it.
Bye, guys.